I want to thank you for taking time away from your Oscar viewing tonight. I know this was a big night for you. And for you to join us is absolutely an honor beyond honors. Let me just say that to you right now. Because I know how you feel about entertainment and tradition and culture. And I know you're taking time away from that. I appreciate that immensely. My friend, where do I begin? Do you know what's happening right now? Are you aware of something? Which is, I'm sure you probably do. You probably do, but I want to bring it up to your attention. Let's call them I don't know what do you call it? The enemy? I don't know what you want to call them. The people who represent the other side, the other group. These are people who, by the way, love nothing but to attack now Candace, but never promote anything in terms of an alternative theory. An alternative thinking about anything. They don't say anything. They just, how do I say this? They just love to talk about things that they think don't make any sense, but they don't really know anything. And that's the beautiful part about this. Somebody emailed, or not emailed, but texted before. They said, here we have, since it was like the first one, it was hours ago, since September, whatever it was, Candace has put out all this stuff, and yet nobody's been brought to justice, or nobody's been prosecuted, or something along those lines. Nobody's been caught, right? Nobody's been brought to justice. And I said, very politely, I said, would you please tell me what subpoena powers she might have? What subpoena powers does Candace have? Fill me in. Because that's the thing I want to know. Can you believe somebody's saying, well, you didn't do anything? She has done everything. Nobody's assisting her. Nobody's coming forward and saying, may we help you, Ms. Owens? May we, the government, help you? Has Kash Patel said anything? Has he been of any assistance? Has he done anything? Anything? This is something which I can't explain this enough to you. I mean, do you know, has he? No. So what exactly is she supposed to do? That's what I want to know. We have a new member, Driving and Singing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But let me go back to what I'm saying. Isn't this amazing? I said, listen, if you have something that Candace is suggesting that's wrong, would you provide it? And somebody brought up, what about the Egyptian planes? I said, oh my God. She's on her own. You have does that even matter? Mitch Snow? That was part of the, you open something up to see where it goes. I don't understand it. They're chiding her. The government, feds, everybody has done nothing. Nothing. Eric is appearing before Sarah Huckabee Sanders and other people, but nobody's done anything. Nobody said anything. It'd be nice if they had some kind of an assistant, don't you? I think. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be terrific if somebody would maybe help her out? Wouldn't that? Wouldn't it be important? Wouldn't it be critical? Wouldn't it be important if they just provided that there was this thing that they would maybe say, well, can you give us some of this? Nobody's interested in her. Nobody. They want her to go away. And if this isn't obvious to these people, I don't know what, but she's not going anywhere. This nastiness. Meghan McCain called her a psychopath. Would you please called Candace, I believe it was Meghan McCain, because she showed some old text that she had with Charlie about Meghan McCain. I mean, this is just, and listen, Candace knows how to give it right back. Doesn't this blow your mind? Doesn't it seriously blow your mind? That's what I want to know. Nobody's assisting her. Nobody's helping anybody. Nobody's helping anybody say anything. And that's the most important thing in the world. She keeps saying, what about this? What about this? What about anybody want to send an investigator over? Anybody? If somebody knew who was responsible or suggested that they knew who was responsible for the death of your husband, do you think you'd say, wait a minute, come talk to me? Somebody who kidnapped your child, somebody who had information to help you get to the bottom of something. Don't you think, doesn't that at all bother you? Doesn't this blow your mind? I don't know what happened. I don't know what it is, but here's Sarah Huckabee Sanders and others. Did you see her at this school, at this high school? This is dark stuff. They don't get it. They don't get it. You know, one of the things to do, if ever you want to say something, perhaps maybe you want to provide, I don't know, some kind of retort, all you have to do is say, in my humble opinion, Candace Owens has not made her case regarding, well, what is it exactly? Stop right there. What is her case? What is she alleging? What? She's trying to find out. What is she saying? She's saying, let's look at this. Let's go back to square one. What is she saying? Has she pointed fingers? She wants to know a lot of things. Other people have brought questions about TPUSA, and that's fine. And about the, look, all you have to do is look at this weird transmogrification about the many personalities of what am I trying to say? Of Erica. That's one thing. But Candace has not said that anybody's responsible. She's saying, I need your help. And one of the people you've got to look at, and like any law enforcement, is look at this wife. Look at who she is. Oh, no. What do you mean, no? Wait a minute. Is that the way it is? When one of your own is, and nobody's even saying she did anything, but don't you think it makes sense to even just think about this? David says, we love to watch true crime shows every day and say, I know it was the spouse. No one ever says, don't question the grieving spouse, and it usually is. Sometimes it is. I'm not feeling necessarily, and I mean this sincerely, and if I represent it seriously, you're gonna laugh on it. You're gonna laugh at me when I say this. You're gonna laugh at me when I say this, but it's true. I'm going to say, I would talk to law enforcement. I'm saying, listen, she's a very nice lady, girl, whatever, but she's not smart enough to do this. She may be a lot of things, but a murderer of him? No. She, believe me, nobody in their right mind, nobody's suggesting that. No. She might be reacting weirdly. She might be, but she's not smart enough. She's not diabolical enough. It's ridiculous to do this. Now, there may have been, listen, this is some pretty serious stuff here. Whoever did this, this was very, very weirdly professional, very dramatic, very ridiculous. Why somebody wants to do it in the open, I have no idea. Same thing with Epstein. If I were in charge, God forbid, if I were in charge of the team, I would say, listen, we're not going to do things in front of people. Why did you do it? Do you know, let me back up a little bit. Do you know that if somebody had said, Epstein will be disappeared, he will be at some place that nobody will know about, he will just be disappeared. And if there are a few people who know about it, they won't be of any significance, or they'll be too scared, and he'll just go away. Now, this is an analogy. Metaphor, not an analogy, but an example. What would the news have said? Today, New York financier, or New York, what would you call him? He wasn't a disgrace. Or this is post Palm Beach. Disgraced, whatever it was. is missing. Is missing. You understand this? This is the part which is interesting. It's one of those things that is just, how do I say this? It's one of those things that, oh, look at this. Somebody says, I think it's boring and annoying. In my opinion, Candace is exhausting. I don't have bandwidth to obsess over every unproven minutia. Minutia that you have plural. Every would be minutia IA, not AE is plural. Now, this is my favorite. And thank you for coming here. Everybody's at home here. Why are you here? Isn't that funny? They love this. Arrogance seems to be the perfect foil. I don't think so. Why do people love this story? Why? 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 What is this? What is it? This is the part that just killed me. I love these people. They will say all these things about, remember, they're going to come after her hard now. She's an anti-Semite. She's going to be, I'm surprised she doesn't sound like anti-American or something. I think the anti-Semite thing is just, it's just hit so much. She says some really, really, really strong things, as is her right. She can say whatever she wants. See, I don't understand this. If you come on and you say, those miserable French people, that stupid Macron and those stupid French. No, I'm not saying that, but people would say, well, I guess you don't like the French. You know, everybody does it. But that's it. That's it. And we need to have these people because they need it. But it doesn't work. It's like, I understand a troll. That's okay. But sometimes it's important to understand, look, you and I could talk about, but you got to understand, what have they brought? Nothing. Nothing. It's wonderful to sublate the existence of something here is, I think, fraudulent in and of itself. But what I was saying before, had they just disappeared Epstein, people would have said, they don't remember this Palm Beach thing. They don't remember this. Remember the guy with no. The one who had the traffic? No. The one who had the special deal with the house arrest or the no. He was big in my no. Nobody knew who I was, and that would have been it. Nobody would have demanded the files. They wouldn't have known about the files. If there were suits, it would be like, okay, another suit. What made it what it was all of a sudden when it became so big, and everybody started talking about it, Virginia Giuffre, and everybody came in, and then Dershowitz came in, and this one came in, everybody came in, and they were going crazy, and Les Wexner, and oh my God. And then they did it. They got him in a federal prison. Well, kind of a holding facility. It's like a jail. Somebody somewhere said, let's do this in front of everybody. Why? I don't know. Let's teach him a lesson. Why? What is the purpose of this? Why? Why did you do that? Nobody would have known anything. There would have been no Virginia Giuffre. She would have filed a lawsuit. They said, look, come here. Just go away. That's it. There would have been no Pam Bondi. Remember Pam Bondi? Remember that weird. They didn't know what hit them. They didn't understand. Cash Patel sure as hell didn't understand. Poor guy. He didn't understand. Bongino, this, Mr. Quit. No one to hold him, no one to fold him. He's out of there. Unbelievable. It just, I've got on my desk thousands of pages of the most suspicious. Why are you saying that? Do you know what's in there? They didn't know. I swear to God, they didn't know. None of them. And then you said, okay, let's see it. Let's see what? The thing, the files. What files? What are you talking about? The files. You said this. Then there were binders. Remember the binders going back that day when all of these influencers, by the way, those influencers never said a word about Epstein. Never. Nothing. And they were deliberately given these binders that have, I don't know what they have in them. And then there was the first tranche, the second tranche. millions of pages. Oh my God, it was the most incredible thing in the world. Carrie says, Candace gets everyone wound up. Awesome at wordplay. No follow through or conclusion. Move to next story. Interesting. What exactly, and I thank you for that. What do you think she's supposed to do? She's getting people, she is presenting to us kind of like we're the grand jury. This is what's going on. She, quote, gets people worked up. Do you realize if somebody said that? There are those JFK people coming. There's that Oliver Stone getting people all worked up about JFK, and then he doesn't come through with the goods. Well, what happened? It's like, I'm trying to find out. Well, would you let us know? Would you let us know what happened? I mean, do you hear this? Candace gets us worked up. Let's talk about people who get people worked up. The internet's about getting people worked up. It's getting people concerned. I'm going to keep that one. That is really good, though. I mean, what is she supposed to do? Hey, listen, I have found, would you like to see what I found? No. Has Candace said, this is it? I have it? No. They're still finding things. Remember, this is what, 6 months, right? About 6 months? September, right? About 6 months. That's it. In 6 months, she's found out more times. How long did it take the Epstein thing to be found? I mean, what, decades? And what? Nothing. Still don't know. Still don't know. They can't even find, I guarantee you, if Candace had been involved in looking for Nancy Guthrie, she'd be found. They gave up. Do you know what I'm saying with this one? 6 months. How much do you know? This is little old Candace. I say little old Candace, but she's got maybe a team, people who volunteer. Look at, she's got exhibits. She's got reports. She's got filings and LLCs and this and that and who's who. She knows a genealogical breakdown, the family tree, everything about Erica Franz and the whole family from day one. From stage one, the sizzle reel, stage two, later on, the EMP, Fort Huachuca. Did you ever hear of Fort Huachuca? You don't think it's as interesting? Egyptian planes or not? We haven't even gotten to the part of the actual the shooting itself. There's no help with that one. Nothing. How they paved over everything? 6 months. And people are saying, is that all you got? Can you believe somebody writing that? That's good. See, that helps us more than anything. Come on, move on, man. 6 months. 6 months. This is what people don't know what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. Think about this. Hey, Candace, it's only been 6 months, and you call that information? I was the one who told you, listen, Candace, I appreciate this. I don't know if people are following this as much, but she was saying, no, I'm going to show you. The most thorough investigation about, they're just getting around like, hey, maybe we can go to that Camp Zorro and look for bodies. They've only been saying that forever. Now they're saying, hey, that's a good idea. Why don't we go do that? Okay, fine. Whatever happened to the disposition of Epstein's property? Who owns what? Did it go back to the brother? Where's Les Wexner? No, we're not even done with that yet. Not even close. Nobody's looking. Nobody's interested. Nobody. And the best part is they don't understand this Erica thing. They have no idea. Somebody should have told, put it this way. When you have Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's got her own ambitions, you might want to watch her. You might want to say, listen, are you sure you know about her? Because she does this thing where she, do you know? And I bet you wouldn't even say, no, I don't. No, I don't. Do you know that she's, no. You've heard this, the White House spiritual advisor, exorcisms and things like that. Wait a minute. Hold it. Take it easy. You know who else they're looking at right now? Not looking at, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy is sort of, a lot of people are saying, we're kind of waiting for something here, and this is not the anti-vaxxer dude that we wanted. this is great and everything, but, methylene blue and beef tallow. Is there anything else out there? So there's a lot of stuff. Do you think they knew what Cash Patel would turn into? No. Dan Bongino? No. Pam Bondi? No. Well, how is anybody concerned with Erica? They just figured, well, because Charlie was the real deal. Charlie was the real deal. He was absolutely it. The new ad fleet with your starring role. See it? I know I did not. Oh, dear God. I'm going to see it again. Thank you. I will check this. This is the most important thing. Look at this. This is so terrific. Linda says, what Candace has done is incredible. Her work in finding information is better than anyone else's. At least she's trying to find the truth, unlike Charlie's widow, who was working overtime to basically hide her true self. No, you're right though, but she didn't do this. How do I say this? She doesn't know what she's doing. She's confused. I mean, I'm not trying to defend Erica. I don't think she's very smart. I don't think she knows what she's doing. I swear to you. I think she has a theory. She gets up there. She has no idea what she's going to do. She does this fake crying thing, and then she kind of goes off on some kind of scaring kids. Did you see the kid with from the high schoolers with? And by the way, people, this is the funniest. This is, how do I say this? There are people who don't like Candace because, well, for example, a couple of things. Number one, she's very popular. Number two, she's very smart. Number three, she is blowing everything up, and she might be the most important, powerful force on the internet. Not popular. Joe Rogan still gets more people just watching and others as well, but powerful. Let me tell you something. When I don't watch appointment TV. I don't watch appointment anything. And the only thing is, my only beef with Candace is, you got to let me know ahead of time. How many are you going to do in your series? Is it going to be 5:30 at night? I'll make time. Let me know. Let me know. I've got to wait. I've got to, I got to come on. I'll work with you, but I want to know. Is that it? Do we have more? 7, 8, 10? How many are? Listen to me. I'm saying, come on, it probably took forever. And look how fast she did it. She took 1 week off. 1 week. And came up with this. 1 week. Again, we're walking around. Who's Epstein? Did you know who he was? I don't know. Did you know who he was? I don't know who he was. Zorro. What? Nincompoops. And then remember, when the files were released at the very same time, I don't know where you were, but when they released that pizza business, other people said, oh no, tell me they didn't do that. No. Oh shit. We debunked it. We said it was ridiculous. And now it's back in spades. Really? Oh yeah. Remember? You're crazy. You don't you love this? You're thinking there's some big, I don't know, some kind of weird channels of child predators. How many times during the week do you have this one? How about that fellow Laurie? Remember the one, was his name Laurie? The one that they were going to use, that Candace didn't even check to see all the problems he had. Teachers every week. Remember, orphanages and modeling studios, modeling companies, modeling places. Remember the fellow from Burnell or whatever, who, remember him? He's another one. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. You've got orphanages, and these people actually look at you in the eye and say, you're just weird. You think there's some crazy cabal of, yes. Yes. Where have you been? This is the part I don't understand them. What are you talking about? I did something the other day. I'm just as an aside. This is not for purposes of this, but on my private channel, I did something which is one of my I think I told you this, and I just don't think people care, but I will tell you nonetheless. The thing that scares me more than anything else is when AI goes nuts, and when Palantir in particular gets a hold of warfare, of targeting, of probabilities, of doing a lot of stuff, which is so frightening. And I've been trying to tell people this, and people will look at me and they say, I don't get it. Love my daily Lionel masterclass. Thank you, sir. Stephen Salty, thank you as well. I love that one, masterclass. So I tell people things that a lot of people don't really grasp. And it's not because they're stupid, but maybe they just don't want to. But we're going to have wars and military operations and warfare and targeting turned over to machines, and we will have this automation bias. Thank you, Liz Watson, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to have these people decide who's targeted. And we will believe this bias because of their speed. Because of their speed. Wars. This is the point. Look at this one. I like this. Candace appointed herself as an investigator. It is not her job, and no one asked her to do this. That's for sure. Nobody in TPUSA. She is angry over being rejected by Charlie Kirk and Turning Point. Really? She is rejected. This is very interesting because we have to look at the other. What do you think about that one? And thank you for that, by the way. She's rejected by Charlie? You mean for romance? Or rejected by working with her? And Turning Point USA, yeah, they're going to. Turning Point, Turning Point wants absolutely nothing to do with her. Yeah, she was rejected, all right. Can you mind? Do I have to remind you what Candace thinks politically? Remember what Charlie was tackling, supposedly saying at the end of his life was going on? Are you kidding? There's Liz again. Liz, you're a twofer. Thank you, Liz. You better believe they got to get rid of her. And then when they really got to get rid of her now is Erica, but I don't know. She'll just say something stupid. She has got to lose the center of focus. Let me give you an example. I was watching this. I don't even know the name of it. I don't want to give them their name, their credit, but they're a bunch of, catty, women. Not that women are catty. These women are catty. And be honest with you, it's phenomenal. Sometimes it's great. You've seen that Christine, right? I'm playing that. Have you seen her? Christine Fekete. Wow. Brutal. And anyway, so they start off, they can't stand Candace until they see Erica and they're saying, oh, that's Erica? Yeah. I see what you mean. And they are reluctantly saying, I stand corrected. You can't watch a second of anything, not a moment of it. You can't, and I'm trying to think of anybody where you immediately reject everything that they're saying. You can't believe anything. You know when I believed her? I'll tell you what, stand corrected. When she was doing her sizzle reels, that was Erica. I'm a party girl. I want to be pretty and hot and sexy and drink, and I want to go on, and I'll be damned if I want to sit around and do, I was eating my burger. Oh, shut up with it. That's when she was probably the happiest because she jumped into that. She wanted showbiz and, the glamour and they like me and I'm sexy and oh, yeah. Absolutely. 100%. You got that? 100%. That's when she was the happiest. If you told her right now, listen, do you really want to do this conservative Christian wife stuff. She said, no, that was by default. She kind of aged out of the first thing. I'm sorry. You know how it is. This isn't working. Try something else. And probably with Lori Franz, her mother, she'd probably say, look, we got to try something different. None of this is sticky. I mean, it's okay, but real estate, you really want to go into real estate with a corporate? No, not really. Do you really want to be an entrepreneur? You want to sell t-shirts? And no, not really. What would have made her the happiest, agree or disagree, would be if she could be on some show. And she didn't have to, put it this way, she wouldn't come up with all this crying stuff. The reason why she's got no problem is she got herself into a jam where she's got to do this Christian. I don't know what that means. She's trying her best. But if she could just be the giggly kind of this sexy blonde girl, she would be the happy. She would come up, people might like her because that's who she is. Remember, you can only like somebody who is being themselves, who acts the way they are. And then you might say, there's something interesting about her. She's kind of, people think, Jennifer Lawrence is kind of giddy or goofy, but that's the way she is. And, you might like her. But with Erica, that didn't work. So she had to go to the next thing. Well, let me try something else. Let me try this one. Let me put on this mask. And it didn't work, but nobody was watching her. And she did. Did you see that industrial movie she did about EMPs? And oh my God, it's horrible. Horrible. Erica is special. I don't know what that means. Is that a term of art? Spethial is generally recognized as an archaic or a non-standard spelling of the word special, which describes something unique, specific. Okay. Okay, interesting. That might be some particular neologism or so of the internets. I don't know, but thank you for that. See, always look it up. Always look up the word. Always look up the thing that you're talking about and see what it is. Now, but let me go back to what I was saying before. This is the most important. They're coming after her like you can't believe. Like you can't believe. Ladies and gentlemen, J. Cam says, I drop everything when you're on. I'm cooked. Cooked or hooked. Thank you. That's an honor. I love this. I love it too. I'm serious. It's one of these things. Let me just stop for a second. It's like we're sitting around. It's an interesting story. It's not lethal. It's not the end of the world, but it's critical. It's lethal for Charlie. That's one part of it. Remember, there's 4 parts of this story. Remember I told you that. Number 1 is the actual crime itself. Number 2 is the identity. Who's really involved in this? Number 3 is the motivation, which is tough, the motive. And number 4 is going to be really tough, and that's Erica. That's all her own. You just can't believe anybody as fake as this. And like I say, and I respectfully submit, if you'd have gone back to her initially, you'd say, oh, she's okay. She seems, because that's who she wanted to be. She never wanted to be this. She wanted to be just an actress, or not even an actress. She wants to be one of those special girls. Special needs class, Spethial. I don't know what this means, but thank you. Spethial. Thank you, though. She wanted to be that. That's really, don't you agree? She wanted to be that. She doesn't want to do this stuff. She's not interested in this jazz. I got to do this. Does she exude you? And I talked to my pastor. Oh, stop it. Do you really mean this? And Charlie told her, think about this. Charlie told her, I want you to stay home. I don't think women should work. What? I don't think women should have jobs. What? Mothers should be, what? Remember when they said, listen, what does it say? You're getting old. You shouldn't do, you're getting old. You're 30 years old. Let's face it. People aren't finding you attractive. I don't know what Charlie said about that, but whoa. Charlie, I'm going to say this with all due respect. Love that guy. Genius, smart. Not the most sophisticated. Okay. Didn't live a long time, obviously. Didn't really go through the manifestations. Didn't really, spend a lot of time with various women. Doesn't know. She probably played him she knew how to do it. Have you ever seen somebody who's really good, really gets their hooks at him? I mean, really gets their hooks at him. You got that? I mean, really knows what he's after, knows what his shortcomings are, knows what his limitations are, knows it. Special with a lisp. Thank you. By the way, why is lisp spelled with an S? Just kidding. But thank you for that. It still says spethial. Spethel. Anyway, I don't know why I'm focused on this, but thank you. That's what this thing is. So the next thing is going to be, okay, go ahead. And the best, this is so good. There's Candace. Well, what about this one? Meghan McCain didn't know what she wants to do. Meghan McCain, what am I? Of this one, The View? Am I on The View? Am I not on The View? Am I conservative? What am I? What the hell's going on? I'm John McCain's daughter. I don't know. I don't know what I am. She's kind of like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What? To an extent, Meghan McCain's a little bit like that. She's not really. She just wants to be a little bit of everything. You know, she has more of a variety show. She's not going to talk about this all the time. But the thing is, the best thing I would advise is if you're going to have a position, don't do anything wishy-washy. Don't be like, well, say something strong. Say something real strong. Something really, really strong. Have a position and stick to it. Now, like I said, in 6 months, look what she did. Now, is there anybody calling her? No. Is there anybody from, I mean, this was a major, this was that assassination. You know that word? When you target somebody because of political reasons? That's exactly what this was. And the FBI is nowhere involved in this. What if somebody, let's say, in the old days, David Duke, okay? Certainly not anybody worth noting, a Klansman, a racist. But if he had been, George Wallace, who was a candidate, but somebody somewhere would have said, Charlie enjoys a particular status, a big enough status where he gets to, where he enjoys or he should deserve a little bit of, how do I say this? More of respect, more of concern, more of, nobody. Now, it is so, I don't understand. And there's nobody pushing for this. Not even like the Court TV crowd or the online people. That's going to be one of the greatest cases ever in terms of a whodunit, because if there's so much information and this doesn't make any sense, nothing. So we're not for I'm telling you, it's like you would think. Erica would say, why don't you thank the woman who, by the way, is busting your chops, but is the only one trying to get to the solution or the finale of who actually removed and liquidated your husband. I don't know how to make this any clearer. Do you understand this? How in the name of God are you possibly missing this point? It's something that I'm telling you, I do not understand. I do not understand. And I can't believe how also I'm looking at the Oscar winners updates. I don't know if that makes any, if you care about that. Does anybody remember when the Oscars really were something? Remember when they were really something? Seriously? There was something that was so... writing original screenplay is, I think Sinners is going to take a lot. Writing adaptive screenplay. Actor in a supporting role. Sean Penn got Best Supporting Actor. Wow. Short film. Casting. Yeah. Makeup. Nobody cares about that. Costume design. Nobody cares about that. Animated short film. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about this stuff. Amy Madigan Weapons. It's so sad. I used to watch. There was a time when I knew every year, I knew everybody. I knew every single actor and actress and the movies. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It just kind of went away. And wait till DEI, no, when AGI and AI take over. But that's another story. That's another story. That's another story. If you had a story, now, if you had to have a story with this, if you had to have a character, now think about this, and you had to cast for the role of Erica Kirk, I don't know, Kristen Wiig, maybe? I don't know who could play her. You would need somebody who really knows the insincere, the phony. Have you ever, again, I'm perseverating. Have you ever seen anybody in any, Hillary Clinton, anybody, Kamala, look, Kamala said basically the same thing. She had this nervous laugh, but you kind of thought like, that's sort of her, right? It's nothing that impressive, but there wasn't this genius, this diabolic. She just was, I don't know why they picked her. That's her. That's Kamala. That's it. That's the way she is. Not a good sign, not a great sign, but that's it. Joe Biden, well, he was always the way he was. But you never thought, sometimes they maybe were different. Sometimes Bill Clinton might have been a little bit of a bullshit artist. I feel your pain. But still, that was like, he might be schmaltzy. I've always thought that President Trump, that's exactly the way he is. That's exactly. Say what you want, good or bad, that's who he is. And I appreciate that. That's the thing I'm talking about. Name somebody down the road. Stephen says, Maria Elena Holly is a sad story. Yes. Yes, as are many. Let's see what the latest of that is. Yes, very sad. Buddy Holly. Very sad story. She's 93. 93. We must look at that later. I'm surprised she's alive. 93. I would have never guessed. See, that's the only thing good about Wikipedia is it tells me who's alive. And that's basically it. That's another story. But here's the best part. Going back to what I'm saying right now. What's going to happen now? Number one. Amber Heard should play Erica. Maybe. But to really get that, you need somebody who's really, really good. Like maybe Holly Hunter. Not Holly Hunter. Somebody who really can play Glenn Close in her prime. You got to be somebody who's up and down, who can get mean and nasty, and then buoyant and happy, and just not landing on anything. See, I think that's if ever you wanted, let me ask you, if ever there was, I guess the thing about it is that we never knew that this way, at first, I didn't know. I just find this kind of you remember Tammy Faye Baker, but I do. It's like every time she talks, she started crying. And nobody believed a word she said. Nobody. But she was kind of like small potatoes. This is a different story because she kind of had her life and that was it. Remember Jessica Hahn and all that craziness. But when, I don't know what it was, I just am fascinated by, I see that, you see her, we all see her. Hey guys, remember that thing that, oh my God, 6 days after the she acts like she's giddy. She's giddy. Oh, look at this. I like this. I like your show. But we have a war going on, and still every single video of yours is always Candace. Oh my God, can you please get back on your normal programs now? Damn. Don't you love that? Kamala is the human form of okay. I love when people will say that there is something. This is an audience, okay? This is the audience. This is a story that I know. I'm not a newspaper. I'm not going to talk about sports, weather, traffic on the 8s, that sort of thing. The boringest story in the world is how Americans handle war and one saturation propaganda unit versus another. It's the same people saying the same thing, pro, con, or whatever it is. I'm sorry, hate to tell you this. I know, but it's the same. And the question, what you should be doing is, can you come up with something new? You should be very upset with people who have devoted themselves to the war effort and they keep saying the same thing. It's the same thing. That's my fear. But I thank you for that, though. This is the first part. I will never understand how I will never go to I've never gone to another channel and said, listen, would you talk about Candace? For God's sakes, you've been talking about this Strait of Hormuz now for. Do you have any suggestions? Do you have anything to say? Well, you haven't come up with anything. What are we supposed to do? You just keep talking about how bad it is, Strait of Hormuz. Okay, genius. What are you supposed to do? You would never do that. Are you bitching and moaning about the Strait of Hormuz again? Okay. Tell me, genius, what should we do? It's like getting to a Batman movie expecting Superman. I don't know what that means, but I like that. It's interesting. This is the part that's fun. Everybody has this idea of like, what's important? Oh, am I going to go somebody, By the way, did any of you feel any compunction? Were you today? Somebody put a pistol to your head and say, you got to watch this? When I talk about this, I don't talk about it here. There's certain subjects, I'm telling you, is a kiss of death that I find fascinating. AI, UFOs, war, international relations. I'm not going to waste my time with that. Doesn't work. It's just not, you might say, okay, but everybody's saying the same thing. And the best part about it is that you don't want to hear what I think about this. Because my view of the world my realism is so brutal. It's a joke. We've been doing the same joke my whole life since Vietnam. And I'm going to crack it? Come on. Raul says, what you see is what you get is a content editing system. I see. Thank you. Whenever I see those, I don't really know what all of it. Trump was behind CK. Let's be real here. Okay. What does that mean? Trump was behind Charlie Kirk? You mean his dispatch? Or was he behind him before? Are you kidding? Listen, I don't know how to break this to you. And I know you might take it the wrong way. But Charlie Kirk was not that big of a deal. He was big, but it wasn't the end of the world. Liz Watson says, trying to figure how to work this damned super chat. You just did. EK is a shapeshifter acting out her archetypes. Caroline Miss is the expert victim, fraudster, etc. Well, we'll see. We'll put it this way. That's done. Remember, Erica has just done. There's no. What does she do now? You can't put this much content out about her and have her somehow withstand it. And by the way, Trump is dealing with stuff right now. He has got the world. He has got one bullshit artist after another driving him crazy. World leaders, people that he works with, people in his cabinet, the Republicans, the Democrats, Congress. The whole place is full of this. The whole place. He's got to deal with people who want to talk about war and would soil themselves the first time they smelled gunpowder. He's got to deal with that. He's got to deal with people all the time who say things to his face, but they hate him. He knows a little bit about what it's like to have somebody try to take you out. He knows a little bit about something, but he also may know something that we don't know about. But also, frankly, my suggestion to him is, Mr. President, get away from this. This is a loser. This is not what you think. Agree or disagree. They've forgotten Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's gone. TPUSA is dead. Charlie Kirk's gone. That's it. It's over with. Even have the Charlie Kirk show is so sad. They don't even realize how bad that looks. Trump 2020. Remember that one? Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Now, whenever Trump's name comes up, I say, you want Joe Biden? You want Kamala Harris? Yeah. Didn't think so. Next. Trump is what you see is what you get. True, to an extent. But listen, I'm not here to, I'm not supporting it. See, the thing I like about this is it's also not political. So many of you have said, I like this discussion because I don't have to, it's not left and right. It's political to an extent because what Candace wanted to do and what Charlie wanted to do before they took him out, and I'm sorry, most people, we have the attention span of a gnat. They're going to forget about Charlie immediately. What most people are going to be doing is they're going to forget immediately. And what Charlie tried to do was he tried to talk about some very, very, very seriously conservative ideologies. Conservative. Very, very conservative. And a lot of people, young people liked it. I thought that was terrific. And if he has a problem with a lot of the president's views, okay, fine. He and the world were behind it. You've got members of his own party. So what I'm trying to say is he was important, but don't think that he was so powerful that he had to be stopped and that somehow that's going to stop the movement one way or the other. It doesn't make any sense. Remember, don't go for the obvious. The obvious. Who would want him? Who benefited the most? Seriously. Maybe not now. Ask yourself, who benefited from this? Who? TPUSA? I don't think so. They needed him. Now, he might have been getting hinky at the end. He might want to have his own Doge report. He might have been a problem. I don't know. But do you think TPUSA is better off together? They're nothing now. They're nothing. They're nothing. Do you think that if you don't see him ever, you're going to go to a TPUSA meeting at a college for what? What are you going to go there for? To hear her? To hear one of those weirdos? Who? Who's TPUSA? It doesn't exist. Charlie was it. I'm asking you a question. Who is it? It says, when you lift your mug, your stomach turns. My stomach turns. Still the DJD support. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No one is irreplaceable. Oh, absolutely. Paul Miller says, when Candace or Tucker got arrested by our Gestapo, how will we riot? Will we riot or fight? This will happen. Enjoy the show. Erica's pro wrestling come to life. Oh, listen, let me tell you something right now. And by the way, you're entitled to dislike Trump. Tell me somebody better. I'm with you. I'm all ears. I've been with him since 2016. And there is still more that was done to basically shake this thing around. I'm not saying it's perfect now by any stretch of the imagination, but 2020 is what I'm talking about. And that's what this is about. And 2020 is when they told me, shut up. 2020 was what COVID does. And nobody wanted to talk about it. Remember 2020? Do you remember what this was? Do I have to remind you? If you think this is just Trump, if that's your focus, you're missing the point. You're taking things too seriously. I look at people throughout history, and I don't look at who they were. I look at what their programs were. Richard Nixon was one of the greatest presidents we ever had, in many respects. Terrible in others. But foreign relations, they took him out. Jimmy Carter, absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. But a good man. A good man. There is no reason there is a reason they want to silence Candace. I would think so, yeah. But you know what, though? Believe it or not. And I'm going to say something. There are so many people speaking, so many people talking, so many people going nuts that nobody's that big. Okay? Nobody's that big. What I'm saying is nobody, like people are saying right now, Tucker says, they're going to take me out. Now listen, that's not funny, and I hope, but I don't think so. No. Say whatever you want. The idea that today a non-politician is going to, it's a different status. They used to say that about Alex Jones. They used to say that about other people. It doesn't make any sense. Epstein, I don't understand it. So it's okay to accuse Erica, who is friends with Donald Trump. So it's okay to accuse Erica, who is friends. Oh, I think sure, absolutely, you can accuse all you want. And my advice to the president would say, what are you doing? But the price of my advice to the president would also say, same thing with Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, he's gone, and Bondi as well. Look, if you want to do this stuff, let me explain something to you. If you, and it's up to you. You just might like this, where we say he's good and he's bad or whatever. Do you know that until he gets the go ahead, somebody might be advising him that it's a good idea? And believe it or not, you're not going to like this one. How many people do you think don't know anything about Erica Kirk, still think TPUSA is Charlie? How many people do you think don't watch this, don't watch Twitter? How many people? More than you think. You're never going to find the perfect solution here. Believe me when I tell you this. You're never going to find it. You think J.D. Vance? How about J.D. Vance? Should I what? Dislike him or? Let me ask you that. What's your take on J.D. Vance? What's that about? Is he now to be blamed for her? I know we don't like Erica, but do you really think Erica Kirk is that important vis-a-vis Trump or J.D. Vance or anybody else for that matter? I don't. Remember what I'm saying. If anything, Erica Kirk is a profound annoyance. Is she critical to the spin of the world? No. Is she responsible for war? No. And that's why it's kind of safe to discuss her, because she is what she is. What's important about her are the people who don't see it and still hang on to her, up to and including the president. He's not benefiting at all from this. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she must have not received the memo. She doesn't get it yet. She doesn't get it. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now. Remember one thing, when you're focusing on this, you always think that the world is your circle. I realize that most of the stuff that I consider important, people don't care about it. They really, honest to God, don't care about it. A lot of people do, a lot of people don't. Would you like to go through, seriously, the history? Let's talk about Iran, the Strait of Hormuz. Shall we go through 1953 and Mossadegh and Operation Ajax? You want to talk about that? It's critical. It's critical. We've been talking about this since, what, 79? It's critical. You want to go back through the history of this? From Mossadegh to the Shah to the hostages. Remember that? 444 days. No, you don't want to talk about that. No. But it's important. It's critical. That's important. No, you don't want to talk about that. Come on, don't you want to talk about the Strait of Hormuz? You know how that works? You know why it's so important? You know why they call it the Straits. It's the Strait. You know why it is? Do you really want to talk about that? No. It's not. What you're saying is, it's not that that's not important. I don't want to talk about that now. This is the wrong channel. This is like ETV or I don't know what it is. So that's okay. See, sometimes people get restless, and I appreciate that. So, I guess you like Trump, huh? I guess. So, maybe we can extrapolate. Oh, so maybe you still don't have any. I guess the Catholic Church or the Christianity has nothing to do with it. The bottom line is simply this: we have been presented this gift named Candace, who decided to come along and provided one of the best shows ever in any capacity. She's a single force to be reckoned with. She doesn't have a crew. She doesn't have a cohort, doesn't have a cast. It's her. And she goes after people left and right. You may not agree with some. You may not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But she's interesting. And how rare is it today to be interested? How many times can you say there's somebody on the internet or on the YouTube who's interesting and also, original? There are people, I told you, who spend their whole times taking Candace's show, cutting it, scraping it, putting it on their show, and talking about it. They talk about everybody else's show. She's the hottest ticket in around. I'm not going to explain this. If you don't get this, I don't know what to tell you. She's a rara avis, a rare bird. she's one of the few, which I find profoundly interesting. And I don't leave people because they do something. I told you one time, did you see Alex Jones with Jimmy Dore? Oh my God. It was like, wow. Alex, don't do that again. I love Alex. Always have been. And respect what he's done. I don't leave him just because what is this? Well, you said something bad about Candace. What are we, 7th grade? What is this? This is nuts. I don't agree with anybody 100% all the time about anything. I don't have to. I'm not voting for Candace Owens for office. I'm just listening to her. She's interesting. It's great. I don't listen to radio, TV. There is other shows. I catch a little bit here, a little bit there. I used to listen to sometime, but I got so bored. You know what it is? I got to tell you something. You can say the same thing when it gets to be predictable. That's all. And a bit can be predictable, an act, a person, a show. It's like I know what they're going to say. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that my particular sensibilities are such that but I haven't gotten bored with Candace. Why? I can't figure this out. I immediately say, okay, I got it. I know what he's about. Okay, I know. I've heard it. Give an example. Not in any way. This is not a personal. This is just Nick Fuentes. Got it. Next. That's not a. I have nothing to say. I'm not even passing judgment on what he's saying. I just know what he's going to say. I got it. I understand it. Next. Let me see what else we got here. Who else is out there? Sometimes there are people who are just watch the show. It's interesting. And they say, oh, okay, my saturation point hits. I tend to habituate. Got it. I move on. It's not that they're bad. I know the routine. I know the show. I never heard a Rush Limbaugh show or Howard Stern show. My friend Anthony Cumia. Never heard an Opie and Anthony show. Ever. I heard some things on, like with Rush, I would hear maybe sometimes if I'm in the studio, I hear it above, or maybe I hear a little snippet on YouTube, but I don't listen to him. I just don't. Alex, I listen to. Alex, when he first started, it was the wildest thing I've ever heard. Never heard anything like this on radio. Never. Art Bell. Art Bell did something because now people are trying to copy him, but it was unique. But even that kind of got a little bit saying, okay, I got it. But the thing I'm telling you is that Candace I never found that way. It's like, what are you going to do today? She says stuff that, who knows? The set, the lighting, her attitude, her laugh. She doesn't take herself seriously. She never gets back. I don't know what it is. And then all of a sudden, like a gift from God, here she comes. Erica. It was just, I'm going to tell you a little story. Okay? There was a professional wrestler, because wrestling is the greatest performance sport ever. There was a guy who came out after World War II. America was feeling tough and masculine and big and strong and powerful. We just kicked Hitler and his ass. His name was George Wagner. You might have heard of him as Gorgeous George. He did something nobody ever heard of. It's very commonplace today. He dyed his hair blonde. He had golden bobby pins. He had these robes, these beaded, just these extravagant robes with feathered boa. And he would be very effeminate, and he would do perfume, and he was a great wrestler, but he did this persona and blew wrestling changed. And later on, we found out that Elton John attributed to it, James Brown, Elvis, glam rock, Freddie Mercury, name it, Michael Jackson. I mean, this kind of androgynous, but this over-the-top, flamboyant. He was it. He came along, changed everything. They never heard of anything. They never saw anything like this. I mean, there were heels, but not like this. Now, today, I don't even know if they would have even, today they would probably find it offensive because it was homophobic. But he remember, when we did it after World War II, men were like, what is this? He drove people crazy. Greatest heel ever. That's Candace. I don't mean she's a heel. I mean, she did something that nobody's done. Think about it. What has she done? Nobody, no sidekick. No, an hour plus a day. I think she's a great reader. She must be a little bit on prompter because for her to be able to give that much information, she's a fantastic, her delivery is impeccable. You notice how much she talks to you like this? She looks a little bit off. I like that. So you're catching, it's like I just like the setup. I don't know why it's like that. Just like it. Just like it. And then when they had episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, oh my God. The only problem is, how many are there going to be? Are we going to get any more? Was that the final one? And then when she said, we'll see you Monday, I was like, what? No Friday? I've never done like that. I never cared about anybody on YouTube. Never. And it's not like, well, I'll catch you later. No, I want to see it live. Now, do I have to explain that to you? Does Trump disqualify that? What? What do you have to say about that? It's true. Trump has nothing to do with it. Charlie Kirk is not. Well, I mean, he does, but it's about her. And she hit a subject that is so interesting. The Macron thing's interesting, not like this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the subject, there's so many moving parts to it. But the number one, the heel in this is Erica. She is like nobody's business, and she doesn't realize it. She doesn't realize it, and it is glorious. And then once you see it, now, I'm not going to apologize for this. I know somebody wants to talk about some other powerful thing. Okay. You're entitled to that. I don't mind. That's okay. But there's something about this which is important. And what's interesting now is the people who weigh in and they're trying to attack her. Remember Ben Bongina, he's out of there. Meghan McCain, you're a psychotic. I mean, or a psychopath. They don't know what to do. That's the best. This is the way you do it. This is your hit squad. Nobody. I mean, it's. And I'm telling you, if there was a song called "Relaxing Town," Stephen Still's second album. All we need to get the revolution. No, the hippies and the revolution crazy. We'll sell out Soldier Field and have Jerry Rubin versus Mayor Daley. For the benefit of peace, admission is free. We'll all stay home and watch it on TV. Call it a supersede. That was from his second solo album. If you told me there was going to be a debate, 1 hour, that's got to be enough. Not moderated, but just questions between Eric. Just listen to this. Erica and Candace. How much would you pay to see that? Think about that. Can you imagine what that would be like? Because she knows the facts. Candace knows the facts. Can you imagine? Okay. I would pay nothing. Wrong question. I forgot the crew. Would you like to see that? Let me just rephrase it. That was a good point. I'm not going to pay anything. Okay, you're right. Why pay for anything today? I'll figure a way to work around the paywall. But I'm saying, would you not? And by the way, look at this. Do. Look at this, please. This is the most important thing. Meghan, by the way, is not a grifter. If that's Megan is a grifter, but I don't know. Megan, I look, these people are trying to do a show. Okay? They're doing a show. And whether it's Mark Levin or whether it's Megan or whether it's Roger Stone or whether it's Anthony Cumia, my great friend, or whoever it is, it doesn't matter. You're doing a show. It's a band. This is my music. This is what I do. You don't like the music? Don't worry about it. If you don't like the music, go someplace else. It's not, don't take it seriously. It's not the end of the world. It's not a political party. See what I'm saying? Von Anken, thank you so much. Appreciate it. That's the thing I'm saying. Don't get wrapped up in it. This one's a grifter. I met Mark Levin years ago, one of the nicest people I've ever met. Seriously. You're not going to like that. But why do these so-called high IQ educators in media and government officials act like they don't see it? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand. It's a great question. I don't understand it. One of the things you have to do, no matter what anybody tells you, because you're funny about this, you have to believe what the person is saying. You may disagree with me. That's fine. But you got to believe me. You got to believe me that when I tell you something, I mean it. I'm not just saying it. I'm not just, no. It doesn't work because you'll forget and you'll slip and I can't do it. I don't remember what I said. And no. This is the part that people say, you see Trump. I saw 2020. I couldn't believe it. This is when my friends here just were furious with me. I said, he's going to lose this because he's not paying attention. He didn't see what was happening. And people went crazy. It's true. There were a lot of reasons for it. It was very complicated. I tell you the truth. And there are people that I can like and not like at the same time. I told somebody, I love Steely Dan. Love it. Asia is my favorite album. But I don't like every song. And most of the songs I don't really care for. But I love them. See, does it make any sense to you? That's the way it is. Do you not understand what somebody's position is? Let me give you an example. Perfect example, a guy I respect 100%. Now you might disagree. I'm not saying I agree with, but I respect Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity he's one of the luckiest people in the world. We used to say anybody who follows Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly is it. He never, ever varies, never. You know exactly what you're going to get. I don't watch his show, but I've known him and he's not a bad guy. But I'm saying he's just in terms of what he does, he is boom, that's it. 100%. Say what you want about CNN. You may not like him, but you know this Caitlin, whatever her name is, the one who always looks like she's angry. She does her thing. You know what you're going to get. Joy Reid, say what you want. I never watch her for a second. She does. She's got her audience. She says what she, and I believe she means. Now she changes her mind. So remember, it doesn't mean I like them. It doesn't mean I like them. It means that that's their thing. And they believe that. I really think they believe it. I swear to God. And it's important sometimes for me to hear what other people think, even though I don't agree with them. Like I want to hear, like, why do you? You notice who's a real. Now this guy, I believe him, but he's a turncoat. This is Chris Christie, double C. Oh, he is so upset. I mean, I don't blame him, but he turned on Trump. They turned on him, and he just doesn't land anymore. He's not going to be not going to be a player because something happened. He doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know how to come across. Sometimes Victor Davis Hanson, who cannot pronounce anything, will say things sometimes. Look, if you're out to be pro-Trump, don't pick something you disagree with, but don't say like, "Oh, that was brilliant," when it wasn't, because not everything he does is brilliant by any stretch of the imagination. But there's something that people don't understand, And this is what's important. It's what the rest of the world thinks. He scares them. See, he scares them. And I know that may not mean like much, but here you have people who are, and this really bothers me. Look, I'm not a Quaker, but when it comes to war, nah, that's the last thing you do. The last thing you do. Got to be a clear and present danger affecting here. I don't want to hear about it. There's ways you could do it around it. You could help, but anyway. But have you noticed this? Sometimes people hate Trump so much that they want to see American casualties. And they'll say, aha, see, I told you. That kills me. I saw this during Vietnam. People were so mad at Nixon or LBJ. They said, see that? 10,000. I said, what, are you happy about this? Because they take it so personally. And what the internet has done, it has created a troll-like situation where people's dislike for people overrides the bigger picture. I don't do that. I hope we don't do that with us here on this show. That's not what I want to do. I don't take people seriously. I do, but Erica is, she's not going to, we're not going to go to war because of Erica. Nobody's going to die because of her. Well, I don't think she had anything to do with Charlie, but you know what I'm saying. But it doesn't mean she's not interesting. Do you ever think about this? Do you ever go to a book club? Do you ever hear a book club? These people sit around, they read a book, it's an old book, and they talk about it. What the hell good is that? People love them. They have hobbies. They drink wine and cheese, and it's like one of the biggest things here in Manhattan. I don't know. I never. But if they like it, good for them. That's what this is. It's an Erica Club. It's fun, and I'm not going to apologize for it. And I'm not going to stop and say, okay, let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz, because theoretically I feel like somebody's going to ring a bell, and I haven't talked about it because I'm under some duty to do whatever it is. Listen, I like Trump, but he needs to worry about his legacy, and he's not listening to the right people. Now, if he wants to call me, I'll be more than happy to tell him. But I'm not going to lose sleep over this. Again, you want Biden? You want Kamala Harris? How about the next guy? I don't know who's going to be next. You want Gavin Newsom? Oh, dear God. Oh, my. Be afraid. Be very afraid. I'm not kidding you. There's a movement coming on. And the reason why I like Candace and the reason why I like Charlie was that they were legitimate, not so much conservative, but I liked their values. I liked the way people said, we're going to do this. We believe in this. Not we're Republicans, but we believe in family. And I think people who believe in religion, I think raise kids like that, it's fantastic. I think morality is great. I think and it showed by the number of young people who loved Charlie, loved him because of what he said. And I don't want to let him be forgotten. And that's one thing Candace has done more than anybody. She's done something so important by telling people specifically, don't let him be forgotten. Because this was not an accident. And I do not believe for a moment that this fuzzy-wuzzy, whatever, with a 30-06 and it bounced up. No. Come on. Stop it. Just stop it. It's like each time, each story gets stupider and stupider. What about Epstein and his fate? Come on. Stop it. You're insulting me. Just don't answer, but don't tell me that. You must think I'm stupid, and that bothers me. So that's it. So what's going to happen next? Just watch. Every day I go into X and I say, who's saying what about Candace? Who? Who is it? Notice how Ben Shapiro, what's he doing? Is anybody listening to him? Seriously. Remember when they did that, when they put, was it Daily Wire? Or they put that, was it Daily Wire? What was it where they put those old shows of Candace? It's like, this is terrible. What is the purpose? Justice for Charlie is right. I don't want him to be, how do I say this? Forgotten. Look at this one. Look at this. Trump, Epstein and Trump, 15 years of friendship. How about Mohammed bin Salman? Okay? How about these people all going all kinds of crazy? Because, oh, you did this or whatever. This guy went supposedly and took a bandsaw to Khashoggi. Dear God. Or is it, well, we don't talk about that. What? I mean, do you really, seriously, do you know how many people, knew Harvey Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein? When I hear somebody say, yeah, but you knew him for 15 years, don't go into politics. Don't go into politics. Tonight, listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. This Academy Awards, if they took wherever the hell it is and they just dropped some padlock on it, like in Inglourious Bastards, they padlocked the place and lifted it off. You understand? If they lifted it off out of nowhere and just took it to another planet, another dimension, you know that 90% of all predators will be eliminated. That is the sickest rat's nest of the most despicable people ever. You want to talk about Trump and him? Are you kidding me? Dear God. Absolutely not. I got a new member here. Thank you, Michael. You hear what I'm saying? You want to do that? You want to go to Washington? Do you know what was going on there? You don't know those stories? Oh, dear God. Everybody was Epstein's buddy. Everybody. Because he was a perv, everybody else. Les Wexner, nobody's talking about him. I mean, are you serious? Hugh Hefner? Now we're just finding out. They knew about him. What about even Pat in the old days of Hollywood, what they did to Shirley Temple? How about the people who we know in Hollywood are actually selling their kids? And because the only way you can explain this, they're somehow convincing their children to be to go through some kind of transitional whatever it is. Now, come on. You know and I know that's not possible, statistically or otherwise. So you want to talk about Epstein? It's like, how naive. Listen, I don't want to give you a hard time, but it's like, grow up. Can you imagine that being a Washington? I'm not going to talk to him. No way. Oh, he's creepy. I'm not going to talk to you either. I'm not going to talk to you. You're on the take and you're on the take. I'm not talking to you. Wrong place. Sorry. Want to go to Hollywood? Good luck. Want to go into show business? Good luck. Then you want to go around the world? You want to deal with other people? Try making a deal for oil with somebody who's got a child bride. What are you going to do? Sorry. I'm not going to make a great deal for my country for oil because you live a profligate life, because what you do, because you're a pederast. I'm not going to do it. No, it doesn't work like that. Can't do anything with the Catholic Church or anybody in the old days. Maybe not so much now. You just grow up. It's not good, and I recognize that fact, but it's a sick world. And what's also done, what they're doing in California, what they're doing in Silicon Valley. I told you, thank you for following my wife at Lynn's Warriors. They are screaming for this. They're doing this great thing. And let me tell you something I also told you. You may not want to realize this, but the president did more for her in COSA than anybody. The Kids Online Safety Act, absolutely, positively, 100%, he did it. So it may not be perfect, but the prior administration never lifted a finger. There we go. That's her link. Follow her. I would appreciate it immensely. My wife was at the White House. I wasn't there for this one, but this is when he signed a bill, or some executive, something that recognized Native this killed me. Native American girls, people who just disappeared from reservations and just gone. And they had the whole thing about tribal police and who does it. You should have seen this. I was standing outside the White House. She went in. It looked like who's that group? Hey, now, what's the matter with it? It looked like, you know the name. Anyway, they looked like they were Indians, like a reservation. They were from all over, like, applauding him. He said, they told him, nobody cared about us. Nobody cared about them. He never gets any credit for that. I'm telling you. So I remember, Redbone, thank you. Don't ever think for a moment that I'm anybody's apologist. I'm not saying that. But if you're sensitive to this, can't talk about politics. Can't do it. Wrong way. And music? Oh, dear. You should have heard the stuff I heard about Ike and Tina Turner, what they did to girls. And they did it like these groupies. And oh my God. You want to talk about Warren Beatty? You want to talk about the old days? You want to talk about the 60s? You want to talk what they did? You really want to get into this? Because if you say, well, Trump knew Epstein, you want me to go on? You show me. Sports? Oh, dear God. Dear God. They have the NBA, NFL. Oh, my God. And there's this endless bevy, this feeding of these individuals, these girls who get sucked into this. It's a sick world out there. And I know you knew this. I know you know this and knew this. So just remember, we're all in this together, brother. Don't lose your soul in this, though. You make sure you know what's right and wrong. But know what's happening. Don't fall prey for it. It's not normal. It's sick. It's weird. But that's like being a police officer. I can't go out there. Well, these people are sick. I can't be a priest. There's all these people, these sinners are coming. I can't be a lawyer. They're all criminals. Yeah, that's what we do. And that's what we do. We tell the truth. All right? Okay. So, my friends, I thank you. I thank you. Bookham Dana was right. One more time. That's Mrs. L's website or her YouTube. Please follow her. Thank you for that. She's got so much to talk about. And let me tell you, thank you. You know who we are? We're the I don't give a shit. You don't like what we're talking about? Fine. Go someplace else. I love this stuff. And you do too. And I think Candace is phenomenal. Period. I don't normally, I'm not a fan of anybody. She's got more talent in her little finger than most of these people have because she's legitimate. I believe her. She's not kidding. And she's doing it all by herself. And if somebody doesn't pan out, fine. It'd be nice if somebody, little help. Anybody helping me with this? Nobody. When she said I'm taking a week off to work on a documentary, I thought, okay, she's got, 7 episodes or whatever? Dear God. I'll bet you half of that family didn't know anything about this. I bet you said, Mom, how many husbands have you had? Well, it's just incredible. It's incredible. And I don't mind if somebody's ineffectual. Just don't lie to me. Don't claim to be something you're not. I know some people may have a hard time with maybe they change their mind as to a position, but don't play something you're not. Don't play something. And number one, you can start with evangelicals and anybody in the religious thing. I hate to say it, but that's where more people hide out, more phonies and charlatans than you can imagine. Not that they all are, but especially when there's a chance to make money and you can put it into it. From Benny Hinn to Ernest Angley to Reverend Ike, remember him? To Jimmy Swaggart, remember Oral Roberts? God's going to call me back. Meaning, you got to give me money or God's going to put a hit on you? It's just one after another. That's where they hide. And what's Erica doing? And she's so bad at it. She didn't learn any of her scriptures. She should have just maybe taken the summer. I'll bet you, I would have had a tutorial. I would have said, look, I would have somebody come in and say, just tell me how to speak this. Give me some flashcards. We'll do something. She never says anything. She just says, and Jesus. Okay, you got to do more than just a Jesus. These people, Charlie would throw out, references. Because she just took on this thing. She thinks that's it. Because she's so beautiful and brave and sexy that you're going to buy it. Kenneth Copeland, Jimmy Swaggart, that's right. James Tilton, remember him, the farting priest? You ever see that? James Tilton? Unbelievable. Benny Hinn, he fall back, but actually, why boo or whatever. It was actually Ernest Angley who did the yay and that kind of thing. Oh, I've studied this forever. So anyway, dear friends, have a great and glorious night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving. I love this venue. And I love talking to you about this. I'm not going to apologize for anybody. I'm not here to apologize. And if you want to talk about the straight of 4 moves, I got plenty of places to go. Very good people, very smart people. I don't want to talk about that. And neither do you. Because I want to be with you. I love you talking about this. And if that's so wrong, fine. I don't care. All right, my friends, have a great and a glorious day. Mondays before you know it. Tonight, don't forget tonight, overnights 1 to 5, WABC. Go online, 77 WABC. You could hear me talk about it. Completely different. Completely different. This is terrestrial radio, overnights, New York City, syndicated. Oh my God. You should hear this stuff. It is phenomenal. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious and a beautiful night. We'll see you tomorrow. One more time. Please, thank you so much for following Mrs. L. There's her YouTube. Please sign up. We'll talk to you then. Until then, my friends, remember, monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Dad.